Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We are previewing week one of college football right now with Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com. And right now we're going to discuss Clemson, Georgia. Joe, thanks for being back with us.
All right, thank you, Peter.
All right, give a quick plug for OffshoreInsiders.com before we discuss this interesting matchup.
Yeah, well, hopefully in these videos we've been able to show people the research I do in all the games. And as you've mentioned quite a few times, they're not necessarily the games that I most love. We kind of discuss it. Sometimes I like to do the higher profile games, etc. But I work this hard on all kinds of games, and my premium plays sometimes are going to be high profile, sometimes they're going to be the lower profile games. All I'm looking for is an edge, and I've been at it now 27 years. So get my picks, always backed by the intel at offshoreinsiders.com.
All right, Joe, Clemson and Georgia both ranked in the top 20. Georgia right now is a 7.5-point favorite, and the total right now is 55, and that's heading way down. It was 57.5 or 58 on the opening line, and the side also opened at about 8 or 8.5. Both these teams are in a little bit of a rebuilding mode on offense. Clemson, though, should have one of the best defenses in the country by all reports. If they play up to that, they should be a pretty solid team. I'm thinking that 7.5 might be a few too many points here, considering how good Clemson's defense is advertised to be. Georgia could pull out the win by like 10 or something like that, but I think probably more likely than not, Clemson gets the cover plus 7.5. Is that what you like here, Joe?
No, sir. The fact that Georgia does have a little bit of revenge on their minds because Clemson did beat them last year, but most importantly, I think the Bulldogs are ecstatic to be playing Clemson right now. Keep in mind, this is a team that's rebuilt. There's no question they have some talent back, but when you lose Taj Boyd, who of course their star quarterback, and then Sammy Watkins, a lot of people think that he should have been the top pick in the draft, but they're losing two sensational players, and Clemson's not like Alabama where they can simply reload. No matter how much you talk about offensive line and defense, when you lose a quarterback and your number one weapon outside of quarterback, their two biggest weapons are gone. This is the time to certainly play them. Yeah, it does look like Malcolm Mitchell's probably not going to play for Georgia as we get closer to game time. The Sharps will definitely want to verify that. If somehow Mitchell does play, both the side and the total will go up a little bit. But again, although, as I said in some of our other videos, SEC teams, they don't, in the most literal sense, need to make any type of statement. But I think in lieu of what happened last year, and in lieu of the fact that Georgia on paper is a national championship contender, but people still have their doubts, I can see how in the back of their mind they might have a little bit of a chip under their shoulder. And believe me, Gurley is for real. This guy is an absolute stud, and I look for him to have a huge game here and for Georgia to win by double digits.
Gurley's probably the best player on the field. I'm just wondering if, given Clemson's defense, that it might not be a few too many points. Tough line, but I'm trusting you, Joe Duffy. Georgia minus 7.5. It is. Thanks, Joe.